Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory goes to the Most High God, whose real name is Yahweh. And I do so in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai. All right. Israel, I just want to talk about how we need to raise our children correctly, and walk in this light, walk in this truth, okay? Because this truth is not a game. Okay, and we are, even though this is our last captivity, we're still making babies. We're still popping a lot of babies out. You know what I'm saying? And as the scriptures say, we have to be fruitful and multiply, right? So we need to be teaching our children, because they are the next generation to come, right? We need to be teaching our kids the right things, teach them the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? So, because you don't want to see your child, end up in the streets and be a thug or a whore or a sodomite or anything like that. You want to teach your children correctly. You want to teach them the laws of God, right? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 19. It says, "And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them, when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up." You know how, me personally as a child, when I grew up, my parents, especially my father, he always read me bedtime stories. He always read me a story. And also, he also read a lot about the story of Noah, Moses, Jonah, Christ, all of these. This is what it's saying. Teach them, if you want to tell them a bedtime story, or when they wake up, read the scriptures to them. Read it together with them. Understand? So, tell them about Jonah. Tell them what happened and he got swallowed by the whale, right? For disrespecting the Most High, for disobeying the Most High, right? Tell them about Christ and how he died for the children of Israel, right? We all know that he didn't die for the whole world. So you got to teach the children correctly. Teach them the laws of God. Teach them what it is to be a follower of the Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Teach them what it is to serve Yahweh, right? So, verse 21, that your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, right? Because you want to see your children succeed and be multiplied, right? You don't want to see them die out, because the average life for the Israelites right now is 30. Some people barely make it to see 30 years old. They die in their teens, their 20s, right, 30s. But we want to see past 100. We want to live a full life, and in the kingdom we're gonna live that 1,000 life period. All praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? So it says, "And the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers to give them as the days of heaven upon the earth." So, yeah, man, you have to teach your children, man. This is the last captivity that we're in. We have to raise up the children correctly. Teach them, thus saith the Lord. Okay? Of course, math and science and all the other stuff. Yeah, that comes with it, but really and truly, you must teach them the laws of the Most High God. That's the most important thing to teach your kids, right? You want to raise them right. You want to tell them that the white man is the devil, right? And all the nations are going in slavery. You want to teach them the right things, right? And I always advise to homeschool the kids, but of course, the curriculum, and all this nonsense that the white man is putting out, the Edomites, how they forcing our children to follow their doctrines, to follow what they got to teach us. They remove slavery out of certain schools, right? That's ridiculous. Some of the children I talk to, some of the kids that are coming up 14, 13, 15 years old, they don't even understand that they were slaves. You know why? Because they're not being taught. They're being taught they're being taught their stories, right? We need to be telling them about our story, right? Who are we? We're the children of Israel. We got to keep the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Always, man, right? Proverbs 22, verse 6. "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he would not depart from it." So we got to train them when they're young, right? You got to make sure that you're raising up your child in the right way that they should go. So when they get old enough to be on their own, they don't depart from that ways anymore. They know, I got to do what my parents told me, because this is what's right. And you got to make sure that they follow Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's laws, statutes, and commandments, right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 and verse 3. "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy," right? When you teach your son the right ways of the laws, statutes, and commandments, the enemy, the so-called white man, they get mad at you, man. They're gonna get mad at you. They hate when we teach them the truth, right? Let me read it again. Sirach 30 verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. You make them, they're going to get grievous with you. They get angry. They hate that we're learning the truth. They hate it. That's why all these so-called white people, they're scared. The Proud Boys and KKK, all these fraternities, they're against us, man. Right? They don't like us. They hate us. From the very beginning, they've always hated us, man. Right? It says, and before his friends he shall rejoice of them. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. Why? Because he's carrying out your legacy. Right? When you have seed, right? When you have children, that's an extension of you. Right? So you got to teach them correctly. Right? It says, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. Exactly. The same way Yahweh left, the same way Yahweh made Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai said, he and I are one. What does that mean? I do whatever he tells me to do. I follow him. Right? I'm his creation. Same way our seed is our creation. So they have to follow us, right? We're the leader. We're the parent, and we have to teach them the correct way according to our Abba Yahweh, right? It's verse 5. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, right? When we're alive, right? Most high willing, we don't die. We get to pass that, and we get to get lifted up in the chariot, right? And we get to see New Jerusalem. We get to see this wicked kingdom fall, right? But it says, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. We got to rejoice. We want to rejoice when we see our children. We don't want to be sorrowful and mourn for our kids. That's sad when you got to go to your kid's funeral. That's sad, man. That's heartbreaking. You want to see your kids grow old, and you want to grow old watching your kids grow old too. You want grandsons, you want nieces and nephews, you want that. All praise to the Most High, right? So it says, and when he died, he was not sorrowful, because love, God forbid, if we die, right? I want to make sure that my kid is good, and I rejoice in my children, Most High willing, right? It says, verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies. Why? Because we all have enemies. The enemy of my God is my enemy too, right? It says he left behind him an avenger against his enemies, but because and Most High willing, we are the avengers, and we're gonna have that wrath that the Most High is gonna put in us to take down our enemies, man. Because we are that battle axe, right? It says, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends, right? So you want your kid to live. You don't want your kids to suffer, right? They have to make friends. You know what I'm saying? As kids, we got friends. We communicate. We socialize. We do what kids do, man. You understand? So we got to train up our children correctly. Teach them thus saith the Lord. Teach them the Lord's statutes and commandments, right? Okay. So yeah, man. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Teach him the commandments, right? This book of the law shall not depart of thy mouth, right? This is, let me get Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. You got to do this day and night, right? Meditate therein. Do this with your children, right? Have your wife get involved too. Or your wives, however many wives you got, okay, because we do believe in polygyny, right? But whatever you want to do, make sure your wives are involved, your children, you have to raise them up. Even the women are like children, right? You leave them alone, they wander off and they do what childish things do. That's why you got to keep an eye on your women, you understand? I'm not trying to degrade women, but it is what it is, understand? Women need a husband, you need a man. Right? And the children, they need a father figure to look up to. It's not good when we have single parent homes. That's a curse in the Bible too. But let me finish reading this. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For when thou shalt make thy way, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Don't you want to be successful? You want your kids to be successful. You want to be great in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? Let me get this real quick. This is Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15, right? Because we want to make sure that in our household, right? In our household, that we do thus saith the Lord. That's it, right? Joshua 24 verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, the false gods, the Egyptians, the Sphinx, pharaohs, right? Or the gods of the Amorites, right? Those Hamites and all of that, right? in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, as for us, as the Israelites, right, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we will serve Yahweh. That's what we're going to serve. We're going to serve Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. And be strong about it. Be strong in this faith, man. Okay? You have to be strong in this faith. We were just rehearsing the righteous acts. All right? This is Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the place of drawing waters, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh. We're just rehearsing the righteous acts, right? Even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gate. We're just rehearsing the righteous acts. All we want to do is get it right. So remember, that kingdom is coming, man, and the kingdom is already within you, within Israel. We have the power to make it manifest, right? Because Yahweh is not waiting for that. We're not waiting for Yahweh. Yahweh is waiting for us. So he can send Yahweh to come deliver us out of this captivity, out of this hellhole. We have to train the children correctly. That's why we go into the highways and the byways and train the people. Our elders have failed us. So this generation of people, right? And I'm pretty young myself. We are some young brothers, and it's crazy how our elders have failed us. So we have to go out there and teach the people. So I advise you, Israel, please, brothers and sisters, teach your children, man. If you have kids, teach them, man. You got nieces and nephews, teach them the scriptures. Teach them that Yahweh Shai is a black man. Teach them that we are the Jews, that we are the real Israelites. Teach them, thus saith the Lord, man. You don't want to be put to death, man. You don't want to die, all right? This is, let me see something real quick. This is 2 Chronicles 15, verse 13. That whosoever would not seek Yahweh, God of Israel, shall be put to death. You don't want to be put to death. You want to serve the Most High with your family. You want to serve the Most High with your household, right? Okay, and it says whether small or great, whether man or woman, you have to do this, man. This is an order, okay? We have to be following and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? We have to teach our children the correct way, right? The only doctrine is only one doctrine that we're supposed to be teaching our people, right? Sirach 19 and verse 19. It says, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. That's what we're supposed to be teaching, the doctrine of life, right? And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Hey, man, it's that simple, all right? It's really that simple, man. Get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Teach the children, teach your wives, understand, teach the people, you know, and we can all go home, man. Don't y'all want freedom? Don't y'all want to get out of this hellhole, this captivity that we're in? Think about it, man. Don't even think about it. You know what? This is the last one I got to give out, man. Some people like to think too hard. They like to think for a long time. Sometimes you don't got that much time, man. We're running out of time, right? We are running out of time. So this is Psalms 119 and verse 60. It says, I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments, right? Make haste, man. Go quick with it, man. You're running out of time. What if Yahweh Shai came right now? Are you ready? Got to get ready, man. Get ready to teach your children, teach your people, okay? Most important, you need to get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If you're an Israelite man, a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native man, it's your duty, it's your job to work and to get the right doctrine, to understand. And what's the doctrine? The doctrine of life, which is what? The commandments of the Most High God. So understand, keep the precepts, man. Understand, thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Okay, with that I say all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Shalom Israel, Shalom.